All right, kids. Let's see if we're back and see if you guys can hear me. Looks like you can. It's like once you get it working, don't touch anything. Yeah, last night before I went to bed, I thought, oh, you know what? Let's save some electricity. Let's turn off all the power to the sound system. What could go wrong? It'll probably be better. And this morning, get to wake up, start everything, and we had the sound card problems as already evidenced here. I've been cycling through several of them, but sounds awesome. Good to hear. We're back. Wow. All right, cool. Yesterday, I had electrical problems. We had some folks working on the house yesterday, and they were replacing our main breaker. And when they replaced it, before they left, they only put in 2 of the wires instead of 3. They omitted the ground wire, the local electrician thinking, maybe we don't need ground. Well, kids, when you don't have a ground wire coming into your house, your electricity, your voltage levels fluctuate based on demand. I was watching my volts come in vary from, I think, as low as 84 volts to as high as 146 volts through the day. Never seen that happen in a house before. They go back, they reattach the third line, and the next day, yesterday, well, I feel like I'm not an expert in this, but I had enough lessons in electrical engineering that I have a sense of, I have an intuition about what's good and what's bad. And so my initial intuition on having only 3 lines come into the house was that's bad. So they fix it, and as soon as they fix it, everywhere. So I had voltage meters I had a voltage meter. I was moving through multiple outlets, and as soon as they fix it, voltage goes right to 117, and it stays regardless of load. And I'm like, nice. So voltage is back. The question was, why are we back on a Friday? I am, for now, at least I'm going to try adding 1 more show a week to the schedule. Rory's not going to be able to make it, unfortunately, for the Friday days. I know. I feel the same way as you do. Rory makes this show awesome every time. But, we'll do our best. We'll write some code. That's what we'll do. Now, we're working on some pretty cool code. In fact, actually, everything we've done in the last, I want to say, 2 weeks worth of shows has been very cool stuff. We have been exploring design patterns. We started out, I think, doing the composite design pattern. We added 4 shows a week. Yes! 4 a week. Maybe crazy. I don't know. I'm not sure I can cope with that. I know. I'm doing my part to put the children of therapists through college everywhere. That's what I'm doing. Just think of my coin count. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, your user level is 11. That's not bad. You bumped up to 11. Nice. Well, look at that. You could say Bill Simser and Will Bennett. I don't even know why I added those in that. You should be able to say those things. I miss Will Bennett. Look at all those shiny coins.
Will Bennett rocks.
Yeah, look at that. He does rock. Wish he were here. Is our good friend Michael Jolly out there lurking? I didn't check to see who's out there lurking. I saw somebody say hi to Michael Jolly. I think it was you, Surly. Anyway, if you're out there lurking, I suppose I should be a pro here. Where's my button? There it is, right there. Users in chat. Who's out there? Yeah, bald bearded builders out there with us as well. Welcome. All right. And as we all know, Michael Jolly, 600 coins, man. Dude, they're all the more meaningful now. Also, I haven't said this publicly yet. I'm going to say it now, Surly. It's like opening a file and changing a number, and magically your coins come back. So I could do that. So you know, that's something we want to talk about. We can talk about that, right? Depending on how important that is to you. But it's not hard to bring them all back. And did you delete all my coins when you weren't sure I survived the surgery? No, I didn't. It was all an accident. It was It was like closing something down. I saw the error. I looked at the file. I was like, oh, I kind of knew what was happening in the moment and looked at the possibility of recovering, saw that it was on the wrong drive, that recovery would be more of a pain. And I was like, yeah, let's just let it go. So that's the moment that happened. So anyway, we were working on design patterns out over here, and we started with a composite design pattern, added a very cool feature that a lot of apps that ship today don't have, which is grouping, right? The ability to group and parent groups and ungroup, all of that, right? We added all of those abilities in. That was with a composite design pattern. We worked on serialization as well, and inside of that, we explored the flyweight design pattern to help us with regards to serialization. Then we went on to the composite design pattern, I'm sorry, not composite, the command design pattern to implement undo and redo, unlimited in both directions, which was also, the benefits were equally sweet. And now we're essentially creating a property editor. And we're adding some really cool code to make it work so we don't have to do so if we want to add a new property editor for a new property, it's as simple as declaring the property and adding an attribute. That's where we're going. So, and the property editor plays seamlessly in with our undo and redo. So we're getting to a level of features and sophistication on this app that rivals that of major apps that are shipped by large teams. And we've done it with a little bit of work. So, so that's kind of cool. Let's take a look at where we left off 2 days ago. So I'm just going to drop this down, and now we added this hamburger menu. The hamburger menu comes up, and we see elements in here that we can check and uncheck right here. This is all cool. I want to just double check to make sure the X. Interesting, the X over here is smaller than the X over here. I think that's because it's in the view box and we're scaling differently, but not too. I'm not too concerned about that right now. We can fix that with a little bit of tweaking. And like I say, I just checked one, then the other. Now I can hit undo, undo. So I'm just hitting Control Z right now. Control Shift C reverses the order. Everything plays into undo and redo automatically. It's really beautiful. In fact, I haven't demonstrated this, but let's do it. Let's set this one so it's hideable. Let's Control, drag, copy, create a new instance of it. Oh, look, our new instance isn't copying the properties. We'll need to fix that. But I wanted to show this, though, because I'm totally predicting this is going to work. I'm going to have two of these, and I'm going to say this one is collectible, and this one is hideable, right? See it? When I click them like that, now I'm going to check them both like that. And now, I don't like this. I was expecting this to be grayed out, but I think we haven't added code to do that yet. Now I'm going to clear them both. And now when I click this one, it's cleared, and this one it's cleared. And now I'm going to undo. Both cleared, still undo. There it is, hideable there, hideable here. Undo one more time. Undo one more time. And undo one more time. I think we're going to get to the point where they were both undo. Oh, I'm moving it a little bit. Hold on. There we go. That's where we're going back to, right there, where we had one hideable and one collectible, like that. So kind of cool. Yeah, similarly, we can, so this is collectible, this is hideable, select them both, group them. Now with the group, say the group is hideable and collectible like that, and then undo, undo, undo.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Hey, Copperbeardy. Welcome, buddy. Why does Mr. Announcer Guy make the announcements, not Mr. Announcer Bot? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a new change or not, but I agree. I'm like, wait, what? I'm looking at that a little bit, and it looks a little different than what I'm expecting. I noticed that actually yesterday or the day before, and I'm not sure why that is. But it does seem like a change, doesn't it? All right, so let's fix this a little bit. Let's see, what are we going to do first? Well, we've got our cover and attribute altitude showing up. I don't want those showing up. They're not actually Booleans, but they're showing up as Booleans in our code. We think they're Booleans. Let's go figure out where we were in the code on that. And it's been like 2 days and I've completely forgotten where we were. Let's do a tab to next reference on Boolean change data. This should get us close. When we create a new instance of it, there it is, Boolean checkbox changed. Here we go, get Boolean editor. Okay, property type is Boolean. So the problem is we're setting this incorrectly, I think. Excuse me. System Boolean. Property type full name. Really? Really? That's where we're getting with those two types? Let's set a breakpoint here and see what we get here. What is my full name of this property? This is, I'm sorry, wait. Property info, that's what I want. I want property info.name. So it's collectible. That's good. We want that to be Boolean. Next one's hideable. Ooh, what do we got now? Collectible and hideable. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. I think it's just an initialization is what I think it is. Yeah, it's the first one right there. All right, let's stop the app a second. Let's add a new value over here. Let's do, let's add maybe a couple new values here. Let's call this one unknown right here. And let's add another one in enum, like that, because I also want to be able to identify enums. So now, let's go into property type where we set this. And I need to figure out what to do. Let's do this. Let's do an else and a block and a break. Or I'm sorry, not an else, a default rather. I got the syntax right there. I guess I do, right there. Set a breakpoint here and run and see what we get with that enum. Okay, what do we got here? Cover. So what is the full name? It's so the full type name is like a local type. It's not something we're going to be able to handle and deal with. We need to find out is the type is an enum. And check to see if we can find anything here inside property type. There we go. So it's property type.base type is enum. I think we might be able to find that way. Let's see if we can do that. Property info dot property type dot base type dot full name equals system.enum. There may be better ways to do this. Let's see what happens if we get to here. Setting F10. True. Nice. That's debug visualizer right there, showing me the value just as we hit it. Okay, good. So now we know it's an enum. So let's figure that out now. Type is equal to this .enum. Like that. And then the value, I could do numeric value. I could just store the numeric value in there. Yeah, whether it's, this is whether it has cover or not. So that none is its cover, I'm pretty sure. So I think we can store it like that. Store the enum as a number. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, I feel good about all of this now, so that's good. I think I'm just going to run it, and now when we click this, we should see only two. Nice, collectible and hideable. Sweet. So those are those two pieces there. Okay, cool. I want to add a little more margin on the bottom of that. That's what I think I want to do. Right there, there's where I'm putting the margins in. What's that, toward the bottom? There we go, a little bit better, I like that. All right, so now we can say whether it's collectible or hideable. Nice. Next, let's work on another editor type here. Let's set a breakpoint here. And trying to figure out how we do undo and redo with editing text. I don't think I'm going to do it every change. I think I'm going to do it when you hit enter or escape. You'll commit or not. Or if you click away, that'll commit as well. So, all right, let's worry about I think the enum next, because that's actually kind of an interesting problem. Let's go ahead and do that. So if it's an enum, then we're going to get an enum editor that we're going to build. And enum editor is going to look like this coming in. And I kind of like the approach we used with this, where we created our own new descendant Boolean editor. I'm going to create a new class called an enum editor, like this. I'm going to have it descend from, I think, a stack panel. Like that. And I'm going to give it these two properties as well. So we'll have the name, the property name, and the property type we'll be able to come back and modify. So there's my enum editor. It's got a stack panel. I'm going to set its orientation to horizontal. Like that. Okay, not bad. I can't put it inside its own class, inside its own file yet, because we're in edit and continue land. But you know, we'll get there. Okay, so this is going to be enum editor. Like that. We're going to set the property name, those two pieces. Then we're going to say, I'm going to call add display text. We'll set its foreground color to white automatically inside of its constructor. Do we have a foreground property in stack panel? Nope, we do not. Yeah, there's no foreground there. Okay, no worries, we'll get there. Comment that for a second. I'll probably need to set a margin somewhere in there. We'll comment that out. Oh, this was my problem before, and when I wasn't. Hold on. Else. Please check. I think I can do a null to that, and then it's going to be a neither. That's what I want to do there. In fact, I kind of want to test that. I want to comment. I want to comment. Well, let's declare this. I just want to test that. Remember to test that line of code I just added up there. So there's add display text. Let's comment these lines out. Sort of comment that out as well, just so it all goes. We'll continue and clear our breakpoint. All right, what I wanted to test out was if we click this one and we click that one and we maybe click this one too, and I shift both of them. What I was hoping to see is that this one was going to be inconsistent and therefore like kind of a different color. That's what I was expecting it to be, or something like that. When I set it to null here, it is checked set to null. Huh. We're not getting to this point. The bool value always, wait, is this, yeah, property value data. This is the piece right here. Am I not doing my compare? I need to step into this is what I need to do. All right. So we're looking for the custom attributes. We're going to get down in here, in this middle of this for each. So in the name, I don't really care about. There he is.
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Friday, Mark. Yeah, I know. I'm starting a new Friday show, buddy. Doing 4 days a week. You know, having so much fun. This is actually one of the this is one of the things I love the best. I think that it lights up so many parts of my brain at the same time. Doing a show like this, I love it. So I figure, you know, might as well do the things you like to do. Of course you are, bald bearded builder, glutton for punishment. That's why everyone's here. This is the punishment show. Sometimes it's me doing this to the code. Sometimes it's the code doing that to me. By the way, my daughter is got a little bit of defiance disorder. You know, I like, you know, I taught her a stage slap kind of thing where you put your hand in front of your face and the other actor on the, so like audience is behind me, hand in my face like this, other actor comes and just smacks my hand like that. And then I go like that. My daughter is such defiance disorder. Every time I'm like, hey, put your hand to your face like this, like I'm pretending like I'm mad at her or something like that. And she's like, she won't do it. And then finally she started doing it. But then when I hit her, she moves her head the other way. When I slap her hand, she does this. I'm like, come on, girl. Who'd you yell at? Penance, a new Friday. I yelled at that guy in traffic. Okay, got it. Oh, no. It's a serious show, Pudding. It's a serious show. No, Pudding. Come on, Pudding. I'm trying to do a show here. Pudding. It's tasty, though. All right, we're trying to figure this out. We wrote this code, I don't know, a couple days ago. It should have all worked. I don't understand. Not my fault. Maybe my fault. All right, get comparison. Let's see what's going on here. This is the collectible. Do we got anything coming out of there? It's null. So we're going to create a comparison. All right, first time in. Come in here. Property info. Property value data. Let's see what its value is. Its value is false. Okay, so remember that. Our first one in is property value data is called collectible and it's false. Boom. Let's run. Here comes another one. What's the name of this one? Hideable. I don't care about that. I just want to look at collectible. Just remember that one. The first one was false. Strength to move, no. Cover, altitude, weight, value, name. Here we go. We're coming in. Collectible. Second one. All right, there's our comparison information. Also false? Was I looking at the wrong one? Maybe it was hideable. What do we got here? Is this one true? There it is. This one's true. Okay, let's play with hideable then. Because this is the one that, this is where we should be. Oh, da-doy, we didn't do it. Okay, cool. Compare the properties of this instance. So I've got property value data coming in against this piece right here. All right, so now what I need to do is I think it's going to look like, how did I get the data before? I need something like this. And I need to add enum abilities. Oh, there we go. There's my enum ability. Okay, cool. There's my switch. Okay, that's a relief. It's a relief that I'm not looking at a bug, that instead I'm looking at an oops, didn't finish it. Mark, I'm on an extended fast at the moment, as if you didn't suspect. I now weigh less than I did in 1999. So Shirley Deb is fasting, I think, for weight control, maybe a little bit. Is that true or not? I don't know if it is or not. I am not. I've always had a metabolism that's well, first of all, I don't have a sweet tooth, so I'm generally not eating carbs most of my life anyway. But there was a time when I started eating more carbs, and it was actually just leading up to me getting prostate cancer. I was kind of doing a ritual with my wife. I don't drink coffee. She was stopping at Starbucks, so I was ordering a large, venti hot chocolate every day. And I started getting rounder in my tummy. And I was like, what is this thing right here? How do you guys survive without foods? But he's so sad. Lots of ways to fuel pudding. Lots of ways to fuel. So yeah, I was not throwing in a lot of carbs anyway. So but after starting keto, I did lose that weight that I had recently gained. That was all pretty quickly lost. So whiskey. Michael Jolly, I want to meet you in person, by the way. I feel like I haven't met you in person yet. Is that true? I think it's true. I feel like I know you from your show, but I don't think I've actually met you. The reason why is because I think you're a good guy, Michael Jolly. You're like you're like the guy I want to be, but probably will never be, even no matter how hard I try, because bad things happen. I do bad things. I'm not good. But you are a good kid. Anyway, you are like a role model, Michael Jolly. I can't meet you. It'll only ruin the illusion. Yes, of course it will. It'll all ruin. By the way, speaking of meeting me, kids, we're going to do a live Mondays show. Mondays, if you don't know it, was this outrageous comedy podcast Carl Franklin, Richard Campbell, Karen Mangicotti, and myself did for, I don't know, about 7 years, I think. And then we stopped doing it because, we started making babies and, all kinds of, busy were going on. We're doing a live Mondays at Dem Intersection in Orlando coming up, I think, April 7th. So if you're going to be at Dem Intersection, you can stop by and say hi. It might be a little crazy. Yeah, I think it's fair. I don't know about the MVP Summit, Michael. I am not officially MVP yet. I have been invited. I'm in my probationary period where they're watching me and making sure I don't do anything, that makes them nervous, like I'm want to do. And then they're at some point after that, they're going to say, okay, Mark, you're in. This is new from the last time. The last time it was just I was nominated and I was in very quickly. But then I started doing, I did my Science of Great UI talk. I started talking about the importance of Great UI, and my illustration for the importance was talking about how Microsoft, specifically Ballmer, didn't see the iPhone coming and how he was, was certain that wasn't going to be the case. And so that showed up in my talks. And then shortly after that, Codebase Alpha's here. Yeah, Richard and I, or Carl and I, or maybe it was just Karen and I, made babies. That's what happened. Yeah. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to check if the value coming in is similar to the one we've already got. And what I really want to do in here is I just want to do a comparison here. I want to do something like this. If string value equals value is string, or maybe if it's not equal to, then what I want to do is I want to set string value, I'm pretty sure, equal to null. And then I want to say I almost want to say value is different. Values, inconsistent values. I think I want to do this. Inconsistent values. Like this, when we create it, I want to set that to true, and when we compare, I want to set it to false. No constructor? All right, I'm going to do this. This is going to be equal to true. So inconsistent values will initialize, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's initializing to false. So we're good, actually. Never mind. But then here, I want to say, in compare, I want to say, hey, look, if inconsistent values, then just get out. That's what I think I want to do. And then down here, I want to set to true. Like that. And do I actually want to change the original first value? I think I just want to say inconsistent values. In fact, I think that the line of code looks like this. And then I think now, down here, same thing here. This is going to be numeric value. Oops, break. I need the break in there. So I think
Mark.
What you got? We made babies. That's what we do. You want me to rename it? I'm okay. I'm with you on that. I like it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Nice variable name.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks for that, kids. Look at me floating up on top of everything here. Let's jump back over. Get back over here. Take a more subtle, location down here. All right, so now this one is going to be double of the value, like that. Boom, right? Boom. Okay, good. This one is going to be, it's also similarly double. We can just do the same thing there. And then Boolean. It's going to be bool of the value. Now it's going to be bool value is not equal to that, is what it is, right there. Bool value is not equal to that. Then we're down here in this space, and now it's going to look like this. I think numeric value is not equal to into the value. Like that. And there we go. And then compared once is true. I think that's the code that we need. Let's step through it and see what it looks like. Okay. Bool value is true. So they're already both true. Break. Yeah, compared ones is true. So now I want to ask the question, do we have inconsistent values when I get out of here? Let's get out of here. Get out of here. Whoops, I think I got a little bit too soon. Get editor. This is where I wanted to be. Get Boolean editor. Here's where I want to be, right here. Let's run it. Okay. So if it doesn't do that, then we're there. Let's see if that'll get us down to this line here. Okay, we got it for one of the properties. The property name is collectible. Oh, nice. All right, so I'm going to call that working. That's what I wanted it to do. All right, so here we'll just clear the breakpoint, kind of get them back in here. Drag back over here. All right, nice. So that collectible is on, this collectible is off, and now I select them both at the same time. That's what I'm looking for, right there. If I change it, now I've cleared it, I should have cleared it in both. Cleared there, cleared there. Undo, and now it's back here and not there. Sweet, right? Really high level of sophistication with regards to what we can do and modify, and we're really not writing a whole lot of code. We're just putting the engine for the UI in right now. But once that's done, to add a new Boolean, all we need to do is go over to our, let's see. It's in base stamp properties, right here. Go to our base stamp properties class and add a new editable property attribute to whatever property we have. So cover is the next one I want to work on. So that's kind of what we're working on now. We're kind of working our way through that. That's super sweet. Okay, so let's look at that. I want to look at get an enum editor. Let's build that next. Okay. Here we go. So add display text. We want to create a new text block. This. I'm going to say text block dot text is equal to display text, like that. We want to say text block dot foreground. Looks like I need something. Oh shoot! I want to give me just to put it in. Look at that. So this is a mistake. This is not. This is a Visual Studio issue right here. Let me send. Take a screenshot. Try it one more time. Let's just double check to make sure it's Visual Studio. Let's turn off IntelliRush here. Okay, it's off. And hit Control Dot. Yeah, that's a mistake. Okay, I can't get the. I got to do a full screenshot because when I hit Alt key, it makes it go away. All right, just did a screenshot of the whole screen of all my monitors. Pasting that in. Getting, gonna crop it here. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Crop it, bring it over here so you can see what I can screenshot here, and I can point out the problem here. Okay. Can I zoom in on that? Oh no, it's not changing. All right. The problem is during edit and continue, these will break my edit and continue session. It should be, they should give me the two that they normally offer, but for some reason they're not. They should give me just add system.windows.media. That's what I want to do. So what I'll do instead is I'll say, yeah, go ahead and add system Windows media. Then I'm going to cut that. Notice the purple underline there. Kill that. By the way, I got to stop this in about an hour. I've got a podcast interview later today. So we got to do that. All right, so we're the stack panel. That means we can access our children property, add our text block to the child, and now we've added the display text. Arguably, we might want to call insert instead and pop it in at the number one, the first position. Just so that we don't have any dependency, sequence dependency ordering issues here. So there's our display text. Let's just run that and see what we get. Who's the interview with? I don't remember. It's with Engstrom's. Jimmy, and I forget the other host's name, who I presume is his wife or partner, but it is Jimmy Engstrom, I think is one of them, and I forget the name of the show. But they do a podcast specializing in UI, and so we've been talking about doing an interview for a while. All right, so cool. Now I've got cover and altitude. Those pieces are showing up for here. We need to give them some decent margin here. Part of what's going on, the reason this is important is because this proximity right here to the edge interferes with our feature detectors and our ability to read. So our brains, the cognitive load in our brains go up when we're trying to identify this letter C right here. So we need to move it in from the edge a little bit, at least this, at the minimum that. So let's do that. That's inside add display text. We can do that. Let's see how that works. Oh, look at this. New thickness. Better. All right, next I want to have radio buttons for the enum elements coming across here. So we need to get those enum elements out of here. Guess who doesn't know how to do that? All right, let's bring up those enum elements here. We know the name of the property. Let's see if we can get it just using the discoverability based on IntelliSense instead of doing a search for that. See if that works for us. So, I think we need the instance, so we're not passing it in. Oh, we're not passing it in. Okay, hold on. I think we may not need the instance. Is there any type data available in that numeric value that's coming in? No, it's a double. Yeah, so it just doesn't know or have any idea what it is. We need more information inside of here in order to get the enum elements. We need the full-on type name. At the very least, we need the full-on type name or a type reference. Let's look at where we create this piece here. We're passing the instance in here. And we call create comparison. We're passing the instance in there. I'm kind of feeling like we add an instance here when we create the comparison. We add an instance reference just to the first one. Because then with that instance, then we can go get the property, then we can get the property type, since it's an enum, and then we can start enumerating it. I think that's going to be a reasonable way of solving this problem. All right, so let's do that. Got a breakpoint there. Clear a breakpoint here. All right. First instance, to remind us that there can be multiples out there. I'm going to make its type be an object. Map core, I don't need that. Okay. And then clear that. And then I want to set my breakpoint back over here again. Okay, so now we're coming into your property value data. Property value data is null. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Also weird, when I hover, put the mouse here, I'm not seeing the tooltip on it. Interesting, look at that. Internal error in the expression evaluator. Let's mark this issue, have our devs look at the log files. Okay, Deb, so I'm editing, using edit and continue, writing lots of changes to the code, and got to this real interesting place where I'm at my breakpoint and notice the display, the debug visualizer does not tell me the value of property value data. When I hover over it, no tooltip in Visual Studio. Down here it says the value is null, but it's not, because look at over here, I can get a tooltip on accessing property value data.name, but I just can't get it here when I hover here. When I select it and choose Quick Watch, I get internal error in the expression evaluator. And I'm clicking over here, nothing's happening. So, yeah, look at that. So I'm hoping that there's something in the log files that might explain what's going on. If this is a Visual Studio bug, we might be able to help them out. And if it's something that we're somehow contributing to, we might be able to discover that as well. So let's mark that issue. And we'll call this internal VS error evaluating expression. Like that. Okay. All right. We'll keep going. Now we're back to our this idea of saying, okay, so we know it's an enum now. Well, we know that coming in actually already. We know that. So now what we want to do is we want to go to the instance, I think. Dot instance, first instance, get type, right? Dot get property, passing in this. Let's do that. Declare a new instance for that. And then in property info, this is the type, right? Let's come up to here. All right, so we got property info now. Yeah, property type. How do we get your enum elements? My feeling, well, I don't know. I think I'm debating whether we should try to figure this out on our own or use like Stack Overflow to get an assess. And I think I'm going to do that. Get the names of the enum elements. C# reflection. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Okay, so it's not inside of reflection, it's inside of enum. Look at this. I'm pressing, looks like we got another code rush issue. Oh, no, no, we don't. Hold on, my caps lock key is on. All right, there we go. All right, so I think it's going to look like this. Instead of saying type of, I think it's just going to be this dot property type. Is what I think it's going to be. None. Nice. I think it's going to work. So now we're going to come in here and we're going to say enum editor dot add option. How do I tell if this is the option that is selected or not? Is it, can we assume that the values are going to go? I need to get value is what I need. What do I got inside of enum? I've got get values. Get name, this does a get name based on the value. Hold on, we're gonna do this instead. We're not far. I'll call this value. Like that. And then we're going to call enum.getName, right? Do we have a get name? Sweet. Robotics 57. Robotics, if you want to collect some of those coins, you can just fly your own drone. Type in bang drone like that. Then fly your drone around. And you can fly around. Look at what Mr. AnnouncerBot says up there. Rocket controls, launch, dock, retract. Those are for the drone controls are left. It's just U, D, L, R, and T. And or just type in the color you want. So if you want to put a paint splat out there, you can just do bang like red. And that should do that like that. That wasn't you, that was me. I'm right behind you. Just hit the letter U to go up, R to go right, that sort of thing. And if you follow that with a number like R4, you'll go right for 4 seconds. Like that. You will start collecting coins. If you're done and you want to get rid of your drone, you type in drone -1, and boom, you're gone. Like that, Robotics 57. Okay, so here we go. We are... Welcome, by the way. Like your handle. I just realized X57 is hex code. Hex code for what? It's like a, what is that, a lowercase v or something like that? Now I have to find out. I'm assuming it's ASCII. What? It's just a box? I was hoping something more. A clue. Cool. All right. Oh yeah, X57. I was thinking ASCII is what it is. It's just for the number 57. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to get all the values. Then we're going to call get name on the value, passing it in. So we'll have a value named pair, which is what we really, really want. Oh, I need the enum instance, I think, to go in. Hold on. Enum type. Okay. Okay. Let's declare local there. Then we're going to call editor.addOption, and we're going to pass in the name. And we're going to pass in, determine whether it's, the name, not the display text, the value equals numeric value. So this is going to be cast as an int, I think, right here. So we're going to say, here's the name and whether it's checked or not. I think that's what we need. And now add option, let's go declare that. Hold on. We're having a problem in our for each. Doesn't like it being modified as we're stepping through it, I think. So let's kind of come back over here. Oh, come on. Updating a for each statement. Well, now I got to undo till we figure out where we were when we hit F. Is that it? Oh, I think it was here. Is that it? Come on. What were we? Where were we at? I think I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to have to restart. All right, I'm going to do that. All right, so we're going to do this. Add option. Let's go declare that. And so for our option, we want to create a new radio button. That we want to say called children.add on that. We want our radio button dot content. Set that equal to name. Robotics is following. Love your handle, by the way, Robotics. Really fun. And we're going to say, we'll call this checked. We'll say if checked, then we'll set checked to true. Set checked. With us today. Whoa, Pyrocat, take it easy, buddy. It's not gonna. Oh, Pyrocat. Subtle as always, kids. Pyrocat has entered the building. Marcus Voice Programmer's with us as well. Marcus, we've seen you out here before. You were actually voice programming, right? We talked about this before. Best food advert ever. Prefixing with the other one, Pyrocat. It's the other one. It's the open bracket. This one. Like that. That's the way you stop it. I'm more on the hardware embedded world, but I like to support the science guys. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm liking, I like hardware embedded stuff too. I like to play out there in that space. A while back, we had explosives on the show where we were remotely detonated from the chat room. Really fun stuff. And frightening as well. You know, as I'm, preparing the explosives, double checking to make sure everything is disconnected. All right, so we're going to make that, then we're going to say this. I guess I could just do this. This is fair, right? And then I think that's it. Let's just run that. I think we're going to have some margin spacing issues, but let's see what we got. Yeah, what I like about this code that we're writing is we're getting this kind of multiplying effect. We're creating this multiplier where that we can leverage in the future, just a small little incentive where we're like, oh, you know what? I have an idea to just make this property editable. All right, what do we got? Let's just clear it and see what we got here. Okay. Interesting. So our radio buttons are looking really bizarre. The cool thing though is that functionally they're kind of working. Occasionally I want to type something, but Mark is in the middle of saying something and I don't want to interrupt. Yeah, I talk a lot. Pudding asks, why would we want to skip the intros though? Got it. No worries, Pyrocat. It's actually kind of what makes the show kind of fun. So I've got 1/2, 3/4 total. So we've got some UI problems here with our radio buttons. And I have no idea what's going on here. If this is I think it's a style issue. I think we've got a style issue on our radio buttons. Let's go look at our XAML. Look at that. Okay, we do not want to use this style. How can I use the default style? Let's see if we figure that out. For that fanfare, I'd be happy to interrupt anytime. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so I want to say WPF, XAML, use default style instead of the one in by default WPF style. Yes. No. I don't think that's what I want. I don't think that's what I want either. Yeah, I know. I can do this with the key, I think, on the style. Let's add the word programmatically here. No, not what I want. This looks good. What if we do that? It's going to come back with the override, I bet, though. Let's see what it gets me. Let's go to here. Set a breakpoint here. I don't have an application reference. Okay. Let's just see what we get in there, see what we can explore on that style. It's got 6 setters. That's probably not good, because that feels like it's more mine. It's already out here. I would expect more setters in it. I got a setter here. Wait, I only have 1 setter. Okay. So maybe we're good. Let's see what happens. Let's try it. Radio button.style is equal to default style. Is it going to work? Hey, better, but way too small. All right, we're going to have to figure that out. We need a bigger size for that. That's going to be... I think I'm going to close this down because I'm not. I think we need different sizes on these for the color control. Do that. Let's bring this up here. Property editor, let's try 250. What are we calling this min? It's greater than min. No, wait. That's actually not. I think my problem is this line of code right here. Oh no, wait, is it this one? Oh no, it's this one. Right here, hold on. Oh yeah, which is right here. My min and max are kind of the same. Let's define a separate max. Make it 500. See what happens with that. Let's run those. That error doesn't. It looks old. It just went away. Okay, there we go. Damn that builder pop-up. Tried to click on it myself. Yeah. That's the kind of level of participation we need to have on this show. Yeah, I'm not liking the duplication of logic I'm about to create here. I think we're going to need to extract this into its own method here. Get new width. Like this, the pixel width we're passing in, we want to actually pass two things in. We want to pass in this as well. We're going to pass in these two things. Promote parameter here. And we want to do the same thing here. Can we promote this to the parameter? Oh, no, we can't. That's local. Sorry. Hold on. What's the font in the IDE? It seems to stand out quite clearly. I don't remember what I've got. What am I doing? I think it's Consolis. Yep, there you go. Right there. Okay, so max width is here, max width, property editor. That's the only parameter we need in there. So get new width here, max width property editor, and then down here, we're going to say kind of a similar thing, new width here. That's equal to get width, but we're going to say max width. What, color or something? No suggestions. We were using, really, I think we were using the min width color control editor is what we're doing, but I almost think I want to do the same thing here. Let's call it max width color control editor and make it about 200. I think that's what I want to do. Maybe 250. and then pop that in there. Right? That's my feeling in terms of what's going to work. Let's see if that works. Hope it works. Going to be going for about another 20 minutes. We're going to shut down. I got to get ready for my my interview on the on that podcast coming up, which my I have to kind of zoom in to get to it big enough. Okay. All right. Looks like we need to get those white these pieces white, and we need to increase the left-right distance. And we also need to make the changes actually change the properties, which are not happening yet. We've got 20 minutes. Let's see if we can make those changes all happen. How is this canvas grayed out? Name can be simplified to what? Oh, to panel. True. Okay, I'm with you. All right. All right, so let's see. We want to go to our Boolean editor. Let's close down the app a second because I want to clean up some of this code. I want to add some using statements, remove the type qualifiers. Better. I want to say radio button dot foreground is equal to white. I want to set my margin. And I'm doing a left and a right and a bottom. Does that make sense? Maybe. Then we also need to have some sort of handler thing going on here. What are we doing over here for when it's checked? What? Oh, we set it in this other code. Okay. So then let's do this. Let's say click. Now we've got our click. And I think we want to create an event for value changed. And I think it looks like wait, it says 0 here to get a nullable type type int. And so we're going to call this value like this. I want to set the tag property, I think, to the value. Okay, so we set the tag to the value. Over here, add option, we need to go grab its value. No, wait, is that right? Yes, it is right. That's the enum element's value. Okay, good. All right, so now in here, we want to do something like this. Hey, if the sender's a radio button, come on. Can't do that. Then I want to say, and I want to pass in So there's my on value changed, and I want this to trigger an event. That's what I think I'm. So let's create an event args descendant. Call it. Cool with that. Let's create a variable of this type here.
Genisco 7, where are you? We need your help.
I do need Genisco 7's help right now.
Alright.
Here, I have.
Genisco 7 in the house. Hey, buddy, how you doing? All right, so I got my event args in here. Let's create a new instance of it just right from the get-go. Then we need a new event is what we need. And we need a new delegate. It's going to be our value changed event handler like that. It's going to have value changed event args inside of it. It's our value changed event arg, and we're going to say value changed. That's what I think we're going to do. That'll be our event. In our trigger, did we add the triggering code yet? There it is right there. In here, we're going to say, pass in this, and we're going to send in our event args, right, which we just declared right there. But before we set before we do that, we're going to say event args.value equals value, like that. And this actually needs to be an invoke, like this. Okay, I think that's it. Good. Let's move this to its own type, into its own file. It's got our enum editor. Got our value change event args. Let's move that to its own file. We got our Boolean editor left over. Sweet. There's our enum editor. Now what we need to do is we need to hook that event from the outside world. And are we checking that value is actually changing? Forget if we actually wrote the code to do that. Yeah. I think we need to do all that. Okay, back to here. Let's go find when we create this instance. Let's hook the event. Come on. Good. And it's right next to Boolean checkbox changed. Isn't that awesome? So next, we need code that's really close to this. We're going to need its own dedicated DTO here. Enum change data. That's what I think we're going to do. Let's go grab our bool change data. Let's duplicate this because it's really similar. This is going to be an int. It's going to be value, value. All right, there's our enum change data. Let's go look at our bool change data. Where's that used? It's used in the base stamp boolean value command. Let's duplicate this. This is going to be the base stamp enum value command. So this is for undo and redo. That's what we need to do. These is going to be a dictionary of ints. These are my undo values. My redo value is the same type. Property name is going to be a string. Prepare for execution. We're going through all of those pieces. This we want it to be our enum change data. Save value, stamp properties. Panes, key, add. That's all looking good. It's just saving the value in there. Get save value. Okay. If it doesn't contain the key, I'm going to return 0. Right there. Otherwise, return the undo values. Looks good all the way down the line. Okay, good. There's my enum value. Enum value could also be used for like an integer value as well. I think I'm going to rename this. Call it int value command. That's what I'm going to do. All right, let's move that type to its own file. And change enum property. We want to go look at, we want to go find, we need to declare something that's out here. Let's go look for this. And this one, we want to duplicate as well. And this one's going to be called change int property command. It's going to be get int value. It's going to return an int. And this is just needs to change its ancestor class. Right here, the int value command we just created. Whoops, not this one. This one. Let's move it to its own file. Got about 5 more minutes left. That looks correct. I think we got something that's going to run and work. Undo and redo. Let's give it a shot. Valid window handle. I got this weird message here. What's going on there? Did I give the wrong name? Yeah, this needs to be change int property right there. So we can use an int property command to change enums, and we'll also be able to use them to change numeric values, and we'll get full undo and redo. Should all work. If it does work, it's a testament to the power of the architecture that's been designed here. It's very cool. All right, so here we go. All right, so now I'm changing it. As I change each one, let's hit undo. Look at that. Look at that, kids. Redo. There's redo, undo, 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 redo, redo, redo. Right? Change, 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 undo, 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 undo. Yeah. Redo, 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 redo. Look at that. This is behavior that is generally hard to get. Generally, it takes a whole team of people to do, to create. And we have added these sophisticated behaviors to this app in essentially the last 2 weeks worth of shows, extremely part-time, working about at most 3 hours a day, 3 days a week to get here. Powerful, powerful stuff. I think that's a good place to end the show in. That gives me 10 minutes to prepare for my interview, do my refresh, powder my nose, that sort of thing. Kids, I'm so glad you joined us on a Friday. That's our new thing. We're going to start doing Friday shows all the freaking time. That's what we're going to do. What do we got out here? Let's go bump up at, let's go to Clarkia. Start that rate. What's up, Brian? We said hi. And thanks so much. And we will see you kids on Tuesday. Wrap this up.